The moment the priest asked if anyone had any objections, my chest tightened as though a wild animal were clawing to escape from inside me. I stood at the altar, my tuxedo stiff and suffocating, my gaze fixed on Clara. My Clara, her beauty dazzling, her smile sharp enough to wound. The sunlight poured through the stained glass windows, casting rainbow patterns across the church, and for a brief instant, it seemed as though the whole place held its breath. But the warmth in her eyes wasn't for me. There was a flicker of something else. Hesitation, guilt, defiance, I couldn't tell. Love had blinded me to it until now. The morning had begun with that quiet kind of happiness, the sort that hums under your skin, subtle but undeniable. Clara had kissed me softly in our hotel room, the minty sweetness of her lips mingling with whispered promises. Forever, she had murmured, fingers brushing my jaw as though engraving the words into my memory. I believed her, foolishly, completely. We had shared 3 years of intimacy and dreams, late-night conversations, laughter echoing through our small apartment, nights curled together through storms. And yet, there had been signs, subtle yet persistent. The late nights at the office, her phone angled away, her eyes darting when I inquired about her day. I had excused it all. Stress, nerves, the pre-wedding jitters. I had been a fool in love. The ceremony progressed like a surreal dream. Guests filled the pews, their faces a blurred mosaic of joy and expectation. The organ's solemn notes rose and fell as Clara descended the aisle, guided by her father's steady arm. Though her gaze kept straying to a man seated in the third row, Ethan, her co-worker. His tie was crooked, jaw clenched, a storm barely restrained in his posture. I noticed it, yet I didn't. Not truly. Vows were exchanged. Clara's voice remained calm, but her hands trembled as they held mine. I promised to cherish you, she said. I clung to the hope that the tears in her eyes were for me, that they signaled love. Then came the priest's question. If anyone objects to this union. Silence fell like a heavy curtain, suffocating in its intensity. Clara's fingers gripped mine too tightly, as if bracing against an unseen truth. And then Ethan rose. A collective gasp rippled through the church, as if the walls themselves had inhaled sharply. My stomach plummeted, heart caught in a freefall. Clara's face drained of color, her wide eyes fixed on him. I turned to her, searching for an explanation, for any sign, but she wouldn't meet my gaze. Ethan, don't, she whispered, almost inaudible, but I heard. And it was a blade to my chest. I can't let this happen, James, Ethan said, voice low and controlled, cutting through the stunned quiet. All eyes swung between him, Clara, and me. Clara, tell him. Now or I will, he urged, desperation flashing in his eyes. The world tilted. Colors from the stained glass bled into one another, reds and blues mingling into a surreal haze. I looked at Clara, my voice trembling. Tell me what? She parted her lips, but no sound came. Her hands slipped from mine, cold, final. The murmurs of the congregation rose like a tide, curious and uncertain. Tom, my best man, reached for my shoulder, as if to anchor me, but nothing could. Clara. I called louder, my voice breaking yet determined. What is he talking about? Her silence answered with the force of a scream. Suddenly, the puzzle pieces I had ignored snapped together with cruel precision. The late-night phone calls, her laughter when Ethan's name came up, her evasive glances. Ethan stepped forward, steadying himself. She's been with me for months, James. I thought she would end it, that she'd choose you, but she didn't. Each word landed with the weight of a hammer, crushing everything I had built, everything I had believed. The congregation murmured, a swarm of voices buzzing in my skull. I turned to Clara. My throat felt raw, voice barely more than a rasp. Is it true? Her eyes glistened, not with remorse but with fear. James. I didn't mean for it. It just happened, she whispered. 3 words that obliterated our shared past, our dreams, our plans, the life we imagined together. Rage flared, white-hot and blinding, but beneath it lay a hollow grief, a bottomless ache that consumed me. I wanted to shout, demand answers, but my tongue felt heavy and useless. The priest cleared his throat, his discomfort plain. Perhaps we should take a moment. I cut him off, my voice now ice. No. I have something to say. Silence returned, all eyes fixed on me. Clara's hands twisted the lace of her gown, Ethan froze, unsure, hesitant. I stepped closer, the scent of her perfume, the one from our first date, stinging my chest. I loved you, I said, voice carrying across the church. With everything I had. And you stood here in front of everyone, knowing you betrayed me. Her tears fell silently, useless. I turned to the congregation. Faces etched with shock and sympathy, then back to her. But I won't let you humiliate me further. One sentence is enough. I drew a deep breath. I object to this marriage, because you never loved me enough to be honest. The words lingered, sharp, irrevocable. Clara flinched, her sob shattering the quiet. Ethan's shoulders slumped. The priest stammered, but I was already moving, walking down the aisle, past stunned faces, past the life I thought I would have. Outside, the air was crisp, the sky impossibly blue. I didn't look back, not at Tom's call, not at Clara's faint pleas. The betrayal wasn't only hers. It was mine too, for believing that love could be blind enough to ignore the truth. And as I walked away, the weight of her lies lifted, replaced by something harder, sharper, and freeing.